हेलो दोस्तों, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। मेरा नाम है संदीप और आज हम कंटिन्यू करें प्लेजर वाला गेम जिसका नाम है क्रीड वैली 2।
I think that house belongs to the thought on postmodernism. I don't get it.
Don't get worked up, Dusty. It's just a construct of the mind.
So what? So is everything around here.
Whoa!
Let's see if we can find another one of those scattered cardinal stones. Ah, this is the place I neutered the fear of dogs.
Oh, right! That had a chapter in Dusty's Dust-Ups.
Yeah, I made a lot of nightmares bite the dust back in the day. A simpler time. Oh yeah, the ethics maze is just down the stairs.
Oh, where the new opinions need to prove themselves before being accepted into the mind. That place should be packed with wisdom.
We can probably find a cardinal stone in there. Huh. The entrance looks blocked.
Yeah, look at that giant queue of gray unapproved opinions.
I don't think they can get in. Let's find another way around.
I'm in. Come on, let's go.
Anybody home? What's going on here?
Get off my lawn. Back in my day, the incoming opinions weren't just standing around. They went into the ethics maze to prove their worth to the mind.
That cannon looks pretty sturdy.
Don't get up in arms, Piper. Blocked! The bullet doesn't bite that cannon. I can't reach that perspective switch.
Ooh, what now?
good clobbering makes all...
The best things in life aren't things, mate. Don't strive to have the best things, but to make the best of what you have.
Ugh. There we go.
No owners, mate. Everything should belong to everyone. Yoink.
Hey, you little... That's my sword!
Our sword.
Looks like there are some downsides to being closed-minded.
Shut your beak, bird.
We made it around. Look, it's the entrance to the ethics maze.
The maze has been shut down. You can't go in.
If only I had my sword, I could cut the line.
Be quick, Dusty! They shoot!
Great eye for details, Birdie.
Get away from me! Ah!
Aw, poor Pinion was frightened out of its wits.
It's not like it was really using it. So this is where you fled to, you little... And you dropped my sword on that island!
Now the spinner comes for you! Watch out!
I really need my sword back. my trusty sword. I feel whole again.
A touching reunion.
Spin Doctor. It's good to have you back, Sword. There we go. The maze is open.
The ethics maze tests opinions before they get accepted into the mind. 3 trails of wisdom.
That pattern must mean something.
So much knowledge! It's amazing!
Ugh.
Woo! Books always take you to new and exciting places. job. Let's see what's behind the door. Holy moly! That's a mean-looking piece of machinery!
The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Come play, big guy.
It lost its mind!
That was a mean metal bucket.
This must be the first trial. Only the wisest of opinions make it through.
The shrine inscription reads, "Change is the only constant. In time, swift notions crumble. Sometimes wise and slow are those who do not stumble."
Way to go, Dusty! That was the first trial. Good to see your head getting a little exercise too.
Someone's got to be the brain around here. The pattern changes. The second trial.
More beautiful books!
You can't learn everything from books.
Well, if you read one, maybe you'd learn something. Thanks for the ride, little book.
These rooms are starting to send me into orbit. What happened? Oh, we're back here again.
We must have taken a wrong turn.
Another map room. That pattern has changed.
memory shards. I don't think I've read that book. Conflict Resolution.
Huh, must be a short book. How many pages do you need to say, hit it with your sword? These rooms keep coming.
But this one impales in comparison. What a cryptic pictogram!
Are you talking to our ride now? Just because something's flying around doesn't mean it's able to understand.
Yeah, well, neither does running around or swinging a sword. Ooh, a bunch of shards!
Thanks for the dance.
Yeah! Nice moves, Dusty! That was some fight! But we made it to the second...
The shrine inscription reads, "Taking a moral stand is not always a one-way track. Sometimes it requires 2 steps forward and 1 step back."
Only 1 trial to go! Knowledge is power, Dusty! Arm yourself!
You're giving these books way too much credit, Piper.
Oh, yeah? Without them, you would still be stuck in the first room.
I would just have found another way like I always... Huh? What's that sound?
Oh no! The book leaked a page!
The engine page!
The book's gonna crash, Dusty!
Hold on!
Whoa!
What a thriller! Did you land all right, Piper?
I'm a bird, Dusty.
Fresh rejects. Welcome home, friends.
Home? What? No! We need to get back up to the maze!
You belong here now. You'll never be discarded again.
Yikes! A place for those who didn't make it through the maze? We shouldn't be here.
In the ditch, everyone belongs and no one leaves. Ever. You're one of us now.
I don't think so. Let's book a flight out of here. This is from the flying book. It seems the engine page has been ripped in 4.
The other 3 pieces must be down here too.
It's an empty notebook. Maybe someone around here has some wisdom we can put in it. The engine page! Coming through! Disperse this crowd!
Hey, not your turn.
Things to say!
No, me. We are all beautiful beliefs, but...
I just want to sing.
No, I want to go. La la la!
Okay, enough already!
Man, we won't be able to pass unless we find someone who can make these opinions move aside.
I hope you'll enjoy your stay in the ditch. Forever.
Man, we need to get out of here.
The moon is more important than the sun. It brings light in the dark. The sun just lights up when it's already daytime.
Hey, what's happening?
Have you seen a piece of paper around here?
I give the orders, you follow them. You see?
A bit bossy, are we?
Now, take me to my employees. You think you can do that?
Man, just listen for a second.
Hut hut. A ship is missing its lighthouse. Move it, Gunk. Employees, they need me. ASAP.
Hey you! Listen, I found you a conductor.
Stop interrupting me. My turn.
It's my turn!
Hey, what's happening? We need to touch base here.
Huh? Touch what?
Let's synergize, people.
Oh, okay.
Okay, team. We might have been discarded, but let's tell our friends what we really are.
Seatbelts are for the weak.
Great! Another piece of the engine page. 2 to go.
Climate change won't affect me. I can still drive 'cause it's only my 5th beer. Crystals will heal my life. Vaccines cause autism. Those new fax machines are great.
Nope.
It's a wasted opportunity. Nobody knows all the trouble.
Seek within, and you shall find yourself.
Could you write some of your generic self-help truth stuff down for me?
Sure, I live to spread the gospel.
Pineapple pizzas rock. Real men should not cry. You can always trust the cops. The toilet paper should roll towards the wall.
The stars have aligned. You eclipse me. Why?
That piece of paper you've got there. I kind of need that.
Fell from the sky.
Thanks.
I was born under a lucky star. It says...
Well, gotta go. Hey, Starman! Have a look at this.
You pride yourself as an independent thinker and do not accept others' statements without satisfactory proof. Whoa. This is so true for me.
Yeah, right? That's totally you!
If someone wrote it down, it must be true. This must be my horoscope. Okay. Yeah, you can have this old engine thingy. It was kind of grinding my gears anyway.
Finally! Only one more piece of the engine and there's liftoff.
Tigers make the greatest pets. Video games can't be musical.
That's the entire engine page.
Great work. Let's get into the flying book and get out of here.
The trial will save this relationship.
Okay, Book. Let's get you back on your wings.
Aw, look at it flap. I think it likes you, Dusty.
Okay. Let's just get out of this place.
But we're all purple.
Up and away. I hope we never see that place again.
I can't believe those opinions were so happy to be there.
Probably the only place they've ever been accepted. Whew, we're coming back to the surface.
Some detour. Have anything to say to the useless book? Huh?
Well, I guess it's not too bad. For a book.
Let's complete the third trial and find out what's wrong with this maze.
more shards!
All this wisdom. Don't you get inspired by all these books full of words?
Nah. What are words without actions?
They can move you, give meaning to your actions, make you think.
Some labyrinth.
I guess
Do
you wouldn't
all opinions
understand.
really go through all this?
A solid worldview requires you to challenge your opinions.
This looks annoyingly familiar.
Hey, Dusty! Do you ever wonder if all of this really exists?
Why would I? I can see it exists.
Yeah, but how do you know we're real and not, like, part of some fiction? A figment of someone's imagination!
Jeez, you really gotta stop reading so many books.
What's this now? Dusty, where do opinions come from? Do you think other minds exist?
Nah, not really.
But what was there before the mind then? There couldn't have just been nothing, right? I guess we'll never know for sure. controlled by the mind.
Of course. I swing my sword when I want to. And I always want to swing my sword.
Do you feel compelled to do it?
Stop pushing my buttons, Piper.
I'm on your side, buddy! Wasn't right. Try again. What if this, the mind and all, it's just one big pre-programmed simulation that outside entities play with for their amusement, and everything we do here is defined from a narrow set of actions in a loop of senseless reincarnation.
What are you talking about?
Are inherently evil, Dusty?
Of course! They're ruining the mind!
But what if they were just born that way? I mean, we don't control how we come into existence. Maybe they were just unlucky.
I'm starting to think I'm unlucky. So, this must be the final trial. The shrine inscription reads, "In the shade of bewilderment, your thoughts will deceive, and the path to enlightenment can be hard to perceive." Yeah, we must be close to the maze exit.
I think we've reached the final room.
Yeah, and there's an opinion that can't get through. Hey, opinion, who are you?
You are never too old to learn to play an instrument.
Oh, that poor opinion shouldn't be stuck here.
Right. The whole validation instrument seems to be out of order. So these turn. They seem to be misaligned.
trick!
The validation instrument turns on.
Woohoo! Validation. I will serve the mind to the best of my abilities.
We did it! Look at it go!
That feeling. Whoa! Here it comes! Oof! Another cardinal stone!
generated. Getting through the maze was an act of wisdom.
Yeah, it does seem that way. I guess you got that one thing right, Birdie.
You beat the maze using your smarts.
I did whack a bunch of stuff.
Nah, it wasn't just the whacking.
Yeah, you're right. I also rolled. Okay, here we go again. The Cardinal Stone of Wisdom. And think about that garden in the summer. Oh, we should get a swing set too.
We haven't signed yet. The budget is going to be tight. The mortgage and that student loan.
We've already been over this, Angela. I can make it work. We just gotta think outside the box.
Yeah, I guess.
The moral compass is aligning itself. I feel the core reverberating. Knowledge speaks. Wisdom listens.
Exactly! The core knows its wisdom, so maybe you should listen.
Knowledge speaks, Piper.
Hey! Thanks, Go! A bird brain! I'm up here, remember? Are you joining the fun or what?
Oh, just you wait. My sword is gonna crack you up.
Boo! Your act is so predictable! Always doing what's expected of you! Come say hello when you're ready to make some actual change!
Yeah. If we can just find one more cardinal stone, we can raise the compass high enough to get to the jester.
अगर आपने दूर तक देखे हैं तो प्लीज लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब माय चैनल। थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग।